All right, hello, and welcome to the Game Fanatics podcast. My name is Ben, and today I'm joined by Henry
Hello.
and Jeff.
Hello.
And today, with the exciting announcement of the PlayStation Now service a couple weeks back, we're going to discuss some games we're excited to test out, maybe ones we hadn't played before, maybe ones we're, you know, nostalgic of.
Right. Yeah, because there are a lot of games that people never got the opportunity to play, and this might be a good chance for them to, sink their teeth into it.
Exactly, especially if they do fulfill the promise of every game,
Right.
which I still doubt, but
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
good luck with that. All right, so who wants to start? Who has some games? I only have
O-
like two.
Okay, well, I'll throw in probably one that a lot of people are gonna want, or two that a lot of people are gonna want, and I think that Parappa the Rapper, like
But that
a lot of
it's
people have seen it, but never
yes,
gotten the chance to play it.
and they play it for like 10 minutes and then they delete it off their hard drive.
No, they don't. That game is awesome. And shut your mouth.
All right,
And
Mr.
then
Waffles.
shut up.
We should mention that Henry's eating waffles.
Yeah, I am. And then of course the Crash Bandicoot series
Yes.
would just it would be a complete failure if that wasn't included on the service.
I hope there's not some issue. Oh no, it's Naughty Dog, right? So there wouldn't be any issue.
No, they don't own it. Activision owns it.
So there could be an issue.
They still
Yeah.
have rights to the first three, right? That's why they're on the PlayStation Store. I
Uh,
think I remember checking up on
they have
that.
distribution rights, but they don't own the content.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, if it's on the PlayStation Store, they can probably put it on PlayStation now. I would. Crash Bandicoot is on my list of things I would like to go back and play the first two, or maybe one.
No, get the first three. Like Warped is awesome.
Nice,
My
nice.
least favorite is probably the second one actually. Um, First
The
one
second one
I
has the worst boss fight. Like the final boss is awful.
Yeah. The first one is just pure nostalgia. Like I played that so much when I was little. And then Warped was awesome, and then Crash Team Racing I still feel is the best karting game of all time. Yeah, so go fuck yourself, Mario Kart.
Wow. So mean to poor Mario. After the recent Nintendo news.
Yeah, well,
Slap to the face.
kicking them while he's down.
Right, it is. It's very, very down.
But yeah, so those are like two that I think a lot of people have interest in, because especially with like All Stars Battle
Mm-hmm.
Royale, like
Definitely
people
sparked
seen like
interest.
yeah, they saw like Parappa and some other old like classic PlayStation games, but they've never actually played them. They've seen the character, but this hopefully will give them the opportunity to try it out.
Yeah, and on that similar vein, I'd like to go back and play the Spyro games.
Oh
Yeah.
right,
Another
Yeah,
thing that
Crash and
Activision
Spyro is like
has, but
synonymous with the
yeah,
original PlayStation.
yeah,
Same with Metal Gear Solid 1 and the first three Resident Evils. Those should definitely be on there.
totally. Those are huge classics that almost should be like free for everyone to play because they really have influenced where we
right.
are now.
hmm
Some more than others. Probably not Spyro as much, but definitely Metal
It's
Gear and definitely
it's
Resident
amazing how
Evil.
well all those games have aged. Like even the Resident Evil games, their puzzles are a little weird, but and the controls are definitely going to be foreign to any newer
Oh
gamer.
yeah.
The camera.
Yeah. But
Dun
yeah,
dun dun.
Yeah, the
like I played Resident
camera.
Evil 2 just a few months
Like,
ago, and that game still holds up.
Oh man, Resident Evil 2. I mean, Resident Evil 1 is phenomenal. Resident Evil
Mhm.
2 is also really good. Resident Evil 3 is really good. I don't like Code Veronica that much. That's a more personal thing.
Yeah.
And like all the Resident Evil games are really great. Well, 1 through 4, you can't go wrong.
right.
I say. Just don't expect 1 to be easy. 'Cause those
Yeah,
games are hard.
and they're not like they aren't the easiest games in terms of like game difficulty, but also at the same time like mechanics are a little wonky because I mean they were old games when you think about it. Because when you're like running away and then you have to like stop to turn and then you keep running, stuff like that. So
Yeah,
they're
it's weird, but
they're definitely from an older era.
well, part of the controls, I know this is off topic, but part of the issue with the controls is to make it more like suspenseful. It raises
Right,
the tension because you can't defend yourself as effectively. That is part of, why the controls quote unquote suck. Honestly, I think after playing it for half an hour, you're used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
yeah,
the tank controls are they have some charm to them because they're just,
Yes.
yeah,
It's definitely.
you don't
Oh,
get
go
that
ahead.
in very many games.
Yeah, it's kind of the same idea with like Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm. I'd also
But
like to play those.
yeah.
Another
Uh,
classic
Yeah.
Sony thing.
um. Let's see. You guys have any that you want to throw in? Because I have a whole
You could
list.
do one of yours and I'll do one of mine.
Okay.
So you have like 30 games on your list.
So one of the um oh man, I don't know which to pick. Okay, so Intelligent Cube.
Not
That
this game.
game
God.
that game was a masterpiece. It's very intelligent. It's a puzzle game that was very unique and not I mean the people that did play it just loved it, but not a whole lot of people did. Luckily, I with like the PlayStation Underground and stuff like that, was able to demo it, and then I got it because I was like, this game's fucking awesome. But not enough people got that experience. So once again, another game that once it's on there, hopefully doors will be opened. People get to play it and realize how awesome it is. Because that game was truly
Yeah.
wonderful.
When you brought this up, I looked up some video for this game, and it took me. It's a puzzle game. It took me like 2 minutes of the video to figure out how it was even being played. Because I
Well, I
just
mean, that's why there are tutorials. Duh.
no, I'm not playing. Of all the games, I will play anything before I will
Wait,
play that game.
if
You're
Henry could figure this
ridiculous.
out as a kid, I'm pretty sure we could figure out what's
It
going
wasn't
on.
that it was just like it was really subtle what was happening,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I guess I should play the tutorial video for the game on YouTube. I'm right, but
Yeah, it's really fun. It's one of those games that once you play a couple minutes of it, you just understand it, and then it gets increasingly difficult to where you're really trying to think about it. It's kind of like Catherine with the moving blocks, but the blocks are coming at you.
yeah, they're like attacking you. Is
Yeah.
it on a timer or is it?
I can't remember if it was on a timer or you had to move the blocks in a way so that they didn't push you off. But I think it's the second one.
Okay.
But I think that there was also a time trial section of the game. Anyway, so Jeff,
Yeah, toss
any
us a game.
are there any
Yeah.
games that you had never the chance to play and would like to with the PlayStation Now service?
Yeah, there are always some like really bizarre games out there. Mr. Mosquito is one. Like
Oh
I'm
right.
all for like the more abstract stuff. Some games also like PlayStation 1 games are just really expensive if you want to get one now. Like
Yes.
Art Dink. Not many people have heard of them. You
What?
guys hadn't in the
Yeah.
pre-podcast chat. They made some really bizarre abstract games. Don't Stop Mr. or No One Can Stop Mr. Domino is this really bizarre puzzle game that I still haven't figured out. I can't get past level one, but
Let's
it's so
just pick
charming.
the niche games of all time.
Yes, and
Well, if you want to talk niche games.
Yeah, Intelligence Cube. Fuck was that?
uh, yeah, that game's awesome. Don't knock it till you tried
Hmm.
it. There are a couple like bizarre games I would just totally love to go back and play, whether I can't find the disc for them or just to like give the experience to other people or whatever. But Jersey Devil was awesome. It was one of Sony's first tries to compete with Super Mario 64. So it's kind of like that more open worldy kind of platforming game that's obviously set in a 3D world.
Why
And
is it the Jersey Devil?
well, the character is a Jersey Devil.
Okay, I understand that, but why?
Yeah, well, I mean, why a bandicoot? Why a hedgehog?
True, but those aren't
Why an
demons
Italian
that haunt the
plumber?
forest. Like, it's a little
Well,
different.
because the
yeah,
PlayStation was edgy, it had CD
I
technology.
guess it
You don't
doesn't.
yeah,
understand. You got
yeah.
to
You don't
understand the
understand,
language.
man. But I mean, like, why a frog jumping across a street? You know,
Frogs are peaceful and nice.
why? But
They
okay,
don't
but
murder you in the forest. Like, you see what I'm saying here?
yeah, I do. But I mean, there
Was
are
this an
plenty of games
M-rated
like that.
platformer?
No, it's E.
This game is an enigma. I really. I don't understand. Hold on, I'm gonna add. We're gonna take a second. I'm gonna add Greg to the call. We'll see if he knows anything about that game.
Hey there.
Hey,
Hello.
Greg.
Hey, Greg, we have a very popular PlayStation 1 game we want to ask you about.
Okay.
All right, it's
Oh
called.
God.
What is it called, Henry?
Jersey Devil.
Yeah, Jersey Devil.
Heard of it. Never had the misfortune of playing it though.
But it's so good.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Like collaborative reviews for the PlayStation era, it was given a B plus.
Okay, Wikipedia. I don't think that makes this a good game.
I'm not.
Really.
No, I just like this game.
I was one of
so
those.
that's
I don't
it's
think
in
I've
my
ever
head.
heard anything positive about it though. Actually,
Really?
like I know I've heard of it, but I don't. For some reason, I don't have a mental association with anything positive in my mind for some reason. So
Yeah,
Well, it was fun.
it
It
changed my
was
life.
entertaining. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll change your life.
okay
right.
then.
Another game I would like to see that's actually better, and then you brought it up a little bit in the pre-thing we were talking, is Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Dragoon's
really
awesome.
just a lot of those JRPGs that I missed for the PS1 era.
Yeah, I was too young to fully appreciate them, so I would love to go back and try them with my current knowledge of gaming, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, Legend of Dragoon, like, I had the demo disc of it way back when, and I thought it was awesome, but I never had the opportunity to actually have the full game. So
No,
that's,
Dragoon was very good. The final boss was really hard, but it was a very good, very unique game as far as keeping the player immersive in it with the different edition system. So
right. Greg, what
yes,
games would you love to see on the PlayStation Now service, whether they be games that you never got to play in that era and that you would like to, or that you would like to play again?
from the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era, or just
Yes.
PS1.
PS1,
Oh,
PS2.
let's see.
We just happen to be talking a lot about PlayStation
Sure.
games.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, PlayStation. How about Brave Fencer Musashi? That was one I enjoyed. I never got around to beating it, but that was a very fun, kind of lighthearted action RPG, but kind of silly, but very fun to play. Um,
No idea what you're
You
talking
guys,
Now,
every
Brave
single
Fencer
one of you,
Musashi.
just crazy games you keep making up. I don't know.
about. Well, the PlayStation, like PS1 and PS2 era, they had a ton of games
True.
Oh yeah.
like that were
Um,
just spread through all kinds of genres and like appealed to
Oh,
different
I
audiences, like the
I thought of
Japanese
one.
games and the
Um,
Western games.
the games themselves arguably weren't like were more like a B or C games, but I really enjoyed them. They were the dot hack games.
Oh
I
Oh,
yeah.
I wanted to
I had
play
fun with those a lot.
those.
I mean, yes, they were flawed and all that, but I had a lot of fun playing
See,
them.
that's like my take with like Jersey Devil. I mean, it's not a
I can't
perfect
fault you
game
for
by
that. So
it's
you
not a
know,
perfect game by any stretch of the imagination, but it was fun and I would like to go back and beat it and like actually experience it as
Mhm.
a cognizant, adult.
Sure.
I don't even want to Google this game.
Oh, it's
Which
so
one?
fun.
Yeah.
Jersey Devil.
Another one that comes to mind for the PlayStation 1 was Bushido Blade 2, a fighting game made by Square. But actually, had a lot of fun because
Mhm.
Yeah, I
there
never
was
got a chance to play any of the Bushido games.
one was kind of okay. There's only two of them. One was a good idea, but two really kind of cemented it.
Hmm.
As far as hey, these are swords. They kill people. You gotta knock out away or counter. Otherwise, they. But it was fun because they had a lot of different styles, like different characters who do wield, and a bunch of different swords, and different characters were better or worse with some sword, So,
Right.
and each character had three different stances, and it was kind of rock paper scissors type thing for which stance would counter which one's better. So, and I usually don't like fighting games, but Bushido Blade just it had enough uniqueness where I enjoyed it. So,
Hmm. What else really is there?
there's a lot, man.
This,
I mean,
this, this,
the PlayStation 1 and 2 had an incredible library.
Yeah, they definitely did.
One of them
But
would be
and it was diverse, which was the most
that's the other
important
thing.
thing.
Like most gamers could find something in their respective genres. I mean, hell, GTA 3 debuted on the PS2. You know.
Right.
Um,
Um,
Another one I
I
was gonna bring up, but
uh,
it was remade was the Zone of the Enders 2. Um,
yeah, Zone of
yeah.
the Enders is on my list.
yeah. The HD collection is great. I mean, obviously they didn't up the cutscenes, but because they're anime style, it actually works. Unlike a lot of other
Yeah, up-resed.
Right.
Yeah.
Where the cutscenes like crap, but because they're anime style, it actually works pretty well still. So, but that is still, I love mechs, but that is still the best mech game I've played is Zone of the Enders 2. So,
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that game a lot. And kind of in the same vein, I mean,
Mhm.
they're not super comparative, but a
Mhm.
game that I would like to see on there is Einhander.
Okay,
If
yeah, sure.
Yeah, like that game, it was another game that I experienced through like the demo discs. Like I got a lot of my uh diversity in gaming through playing the different games on the demo
Oh, of
discs
course.
and
That's
seeing
the
what.
demo discs were awesome.
Yeah, the demo discs, the PlayStation Underground, those were all awesome. But yeah, Einhander was, oh, I love that game. It was kind of like Blade Runnery, and I liked that without it being so weird for like.
So
Well, I mean,
strange.
I appreciate it now, but as like a younger kid, like I was like, this is kind of more my speed. It kind of
Blade
has
Runner.
like a darkness to
Why
it.
did you watch Blade Runner so young?
I've been watching like sci-fi since I was like in the womb.
It's definitely not a kids movie.
No, it's not, but it's really good though.
It is really good. I
It
mean,
is good, and I mean, I understood it and everything. Like that wasn't an issue, but
you're like,
it was.
why is Indiana Jones here?
I
Okay.
actually never watched any of the Indiana Jones movies until high school.
Really?
Wow.
Did
Yeah,
you watch Blade Runner?
yeah.
Strange, strange person.
But yeah, so Einhander and Klonoa, Ben and I were
Yes.
talking about that.
Yes.
Like if they had
Fantastic
one and
platformer.
two on there.
Mhm.
I That's another demo disc game that I was like, I need this game,
Hmm.
and so I got it, and fantastic.
I thought of one. For the PlayStation, it was I think it was PS2 and the Xbox. The first one was Mercenaries.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I thought that's exactly where I thought you were going of all
yeah,
the games.
Mercenary. I mean, it had a lackluster sequel, but man, when that came out, my friends and I again we played on the demo disc and we just had a blast. Just one of the most fun environments. You know, just blow stuff. And on the same token of that, you have the Red Faction 1 and 2, the
Yeah.
Geomod. Again, those environments where you can literally just blow everything up. You know,
uh,
those, those are the games. Those are the games we had fun playing. So
Yeah, one series I've never been able to get into, and it would be fun if I could just have them all, streaming at my fingertips, is the Final Fantasy series. That one's really intimidating if you've never played any of
yeah,
them, because
play 6.
they're
Just play 6.
Just
just
play
play
6. I'll
six.
agree with
Then
that.
I'll agree with me on that.
Play 6, play 9, play
Sure.
10, 12 if you're into it.
10's 10's good. It's not great, but 10 is good though.
I really
I'm
like it.
excited for the HD re-release, though.
Yeah, me
I am
too.
too, actually. I am. I'll give you that. I actually kind of want to play 10 too. Um,
For the first time, I will play 10
yeah,
too.
yeah. I mean, like, I'll give it a try with the job system. You know, because I do like the job
I
system.
love the job system, but it's such a weird concept for a game.
It is, but I'm willing to give
Yeah.
it a chance. That was the thing. I'm more than willing to give it a chance.
It comes out
Uh,
next month, or when does it come out?
I thought it was pretty soon.
Like March?
It's March. Yeah.
Okay.
4 is good, but hard. 4 is very good, but it's hard.
I've heard before it's terribly hard.
Yeah.
I beat it when I was in middle school. I don't know how, but I beat it when I was in middle school.
It's when
Went
you
back
had
to
nothing else to do but just
Yeah,
core and
it's a free
slave over
time
this
cheat code.
I went back in college and I bought the DS one, the 3D, which visually was incredible. Like, how did I beat this before? This is really hard. 5 got way too grindy. 5 got way too grindy. 7, well, I
Eh.
won't go there, but I enjoyed it. It was my introduction to the series. Probably a little overrated, but I still thought it was solid.
Oh, it's definitely
Yeah.
overrated.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely overrated. The fact that it like kind of revolutionized the RPG in terms of visuals and everything, like that's what propels it up.
For sure.
Yeah, it's not.
But as an
It's not a
actual
bad
like,
game. It is not bad. Like despite the hate on it, I will never say it is a bad game. You know.
yeah, it's still
No.
a good game now. Like
Um,
I actually just played through it recently, and
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, it's not a bad game. Like I can see how it would have been like super amazing back then.
right. Yeah, and you had to
But
remember when this came out. It was the first 3D, the first kind of the big cutscenes, the big,
Oh yeah.
you know.
yeah, it was very cinematic for that time.
Right.
Um,
Um.
but I would still rather play 6 and 8.
I
Like,
same here. Eight I liked. The draw system is flawed, but I liked it. Mainly because it takes forever to actually draw 100.
Right.
But I did like it though. Probably liked it more than 7, I think.
I say play 9.
Yeah, not.
I've
I
never
have
actually
no.
played 9.
Nine's really
I,
good.
I played a few. I actually haven't beaten it, which just sounds terrible. But I really enjoyed it. It was very fun. A little more lighthearted than some of the other entries in the
Yeah,
series.
it's got a really good story. Although the end, it's like all of a sudden sci-fi that kind of annoyed me, but whatever.
And 10, I'm excited to play because I had the original disc for PS2 because my mom got it for me and she's like, I think you'll appreciate this game because I wasn't super into like RPGs and but that's the reason why I never finished it, and this will give me the opportunity to go through it with the HD visuals and like get through it. But
and do it on Vita or whatever else you play
yeah,
it
I'm
on.
excited for it on the
Grainy old
Vita with the
PS2
OLED.
visuals. Yeah.
It'll look fantastic on the OLED. But
Yeah,
back to
like, 10
PlayStation
was
now.
10 was my 10 was my
What?
introduction to the series, so that one kind of has a special place in my heart, even though I didn't get very far. And I'm excited to get to Vita on that one. But the
Right.
other one I was going to bring up, and I might be cheating here because I'm not sticking to PS1, PS2, but this is one on my pile of shame that I would love to get through Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops.
That's fair.
Oh,
Then oh.
I have that game and I just don't play it.
Yeah, no, I have it too, and I want to get through it, but I don't want to play it on PSP.
The problem is those PSP games have terrible controls, and
They totally do.
it's the worst.
Just the lack of the second analog stick just totally kills those
It's a
games.
damn shame too.
Mhm.
Yeah, because there are awesome games on there. Like, I
Like
want to play through Persona 3 Portable, but just like the controls are
that
not.
game, he doesn't need the right stick for.
But it gives me the comfort. Like,
I agree. Okay,
you know,
it's the symmetry. It's comforting symmetry.
like it really helps like my mind. But uh, a couple games that I threw out a little earlier, but I just want to throw out again. So
Not
okay,
the
so
devil again, though.
no,
Greg
so we
did
have
you hear this list, did he?
okay, so we have Small Soldiers.
He doesn't need to
Oh.
hear these games.
There's the Army Men series, specifically Army Men 3D.
No,
Okay.
There's Independence Day.
no.
What?
There's Frogger, the '97 version. Jet Moto, and SSX 3.
That's fair.
And the one game that I just pray will be on there is Blasto. Because that game was my childhood.
Which one was that?
Blasto, he was the space exploring kind of doofus. He was voiced by Phil Hartman.
Hey guys, sorry, one second. I gotta take this. Sorry.
You're just gonna miss Blasto, the very exciting game.
It's so good. Like, I mean, it was criticized a lot for like difficulty.
For being Blasto.
No, it was so good. Like, they were about to make a sequel, but then Phil Hartman died, and so they never went through with it. But that game is definitely underappreciated. And then Spin Jam. Spin Jam was cool, but no one knows what Spin Jam is.
No one knew what half of those games you just listed were.
How do you not know what Army Men 3D was? That game was awesome. It was kind of like satirical. They were like army men, and then they had flamethrowers, and they'd melt other army
Yeah,
men.
it was tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
I remember those games, but I never
then-
really played them.
and then the Small Soldiers, the multiplayer was really fun. Like, despite it being a terrible game that didn't have anything to do with the movie, it was just fun to mess around
But
with.
who are you gonna play that game with? Like,
I
I love the multiplayer.
That'll be for for nights where we're all just bored sitting around drinking, and then hey, let's play, Small Soldiers multiplayer. It's kind of like in the same vein for me with like Agent Under Fire or Nightfire on the GameCube, just like sitting around bored. Hey, let's play this, and then we end up having a good time. But I mean, obviously the alcohol would help with Small Soldiers.
Jeez.
But
Oh, let's be fair with Small Soldiers. You could probably find that game at a flea market or on Amazon way cheaper
Yeah.
than a month of PlayStation Now.
Stop shitting on my dreams.
Too bad. This is even assuming that half these games will get put on
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, which they should because they're all gems.
It's probably you think they're gonna launch with all the games that are already like available to buy because that would make the most
Yeah.
sense.
And hopefully games that are available to buy and put on Vita for both North America and Japan. Because, for instance, like Crash Bandicoot, it's obviously on the store, but you can only put it on your Vita in Europe and Japan. And same with Crash Team Racing. So,
What?
it's because of rights and stuff with Activision, and like same with
Ah.
like Oddworld, like you can you can buy the pack that has like Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus, and like Munch's Odyssey and everything. All of them or in Europe, but you can't do that over here because of Sony's rules when it comes to distribution because they were co-published. So stuff like that. Like I hope they just work their way around that stuff and just give me my games.
Give me my games, I demand it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I was a call I
Another
was
series.
expecting from work. Sorry.
That's fine.
You missed nothing.
Okay.
Henry's shitty taste in games.
My tastes are impeccable and quite sophisticated,
Small
sir.
soldiers. All right. So, are there any other
Yeah.
PlayStation Now games?
Better not cut out my Blasto.
I'm tempted.
No, Blasto was it's a gem. It really is.
Henry, I'll say the cover art looks great.
Yeah, it does look interesting.
Yeah, it's like really fun and like cheeky, and he's super sarcastic, but in like a galloping around the cosmos kind of way. Um, he's like a caricature of like William Shatner, like but like in this like 1950s kind of space kind of
All I
character.
think of though is Blasto, the Hanar Spectre.
What?
Mass Effect.
Yeah,
Blasto.
when you look
Oh.
up Blasto, there's a bunch of Hanar stuff,
Exactly.
which improves my opinion of Blasto.
Exactly, right?
It really improved.
Yeah, I want to see the Ape Escape trilogy.
Oh, I never got to play any of that.
That's a good one. That's one I would like to play.
I played the PSP remake of the first one, and I played the third one on PS2. I heard the second one wasn't all that inspired, but it would still be good to complete the set and play all three of those. Especially three, I have some fond memories of that one.
What about Taifu? Does that anyone remember that?
Were you on this planet at any time?
Piss
Jersey
off.
Devil. Anyway, what I got? Jersey Devil.
Hey, don't knock it until you try it. I mean, you probably never heard of Einhander either, but it's a good
I
game.
have heard of that.
I have heard
Isn't it
of
an anime or something too?
I
Could be.
could not tell
I'm
you.
not sure, but
But have you played it?
no.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
so
I
shut your
didn't
mouth.
have a PS1.
And this will give you the opportunity to play those games
did
and
not
realize
get
how
you
much
'cause
better they are.
Because I realized it wasn't
whatever you're
shitty,
playing.
unlike Blasto and these other games.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever's right. Alright, no other games. I don't have any other games.
Yeah, because they all suck.
Because I only had 3 listed down, and you agreed with all of them because they weren't terrible.
Yeah, whatever.
In conclusion.
Yeah, this one might also be cheating, but there are a lot of PS3 racing games that don't feel good on the DualShock 3 that I would love to play with the PS4 controller.
Oh, with the controller that has good triggers?
Yes.
With the the controller that works well.
Yeah.
But I mean, not to knock the DualShock 3.
No,
but
no.
Once you experience the 4, it's just there's no going back.
It's a great controller. It's true.
Like ever since I got it, I've played every PlayStation 3 game that I have with the DualShock 4, and it's amazing. But anyway, so that concludes the podcast.
I had to yawn, I'm sorry. So yeah, let us know in the comments if we missed any of the awesome games. Because I'm sure we did since we spent the whole time listing terrible ones.
Oh, shut your mouth.
Yeah, so comment down there. You can also email us any questions, comments about anything gaming related, hopefully. Podcast at thegamefanatics.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. Henry,
At the Holloway.
Jeff,
TGF_J Smith.
Greg,
The Indie Geek.
and I'm on Twitter at TGF_KirbyLink. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Check out the site for more up-to-the-minute news that's about better games than Henry knows. And we'll see you next time.
Jackass.